Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Markets were a little bit on the quiet side today after quite a dynamic moves that we saw last week, particularly on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The S&P did manage to move to an additional slight new high. I think Friday we had 41.43 or something in that area. We got up to 57 today. So, but that doesn't suggest that it's over. And I have moved the count back to what I originally had presented on Saturday. And I'm going to continue to work with this count, but notice that I've left the triangle pattern in place because it actually is in a couple of different forms. There's a possibility that this would count better as, but still be a primary A. And then this could be A, B, C, D, E. So the triangle could be coming in a few different places. It doesn't draw as cleanly. If it is in this direction, it's more just sideways, a little bit of a wedge coming into the E wave. Either way, both still apply. We did not get to any type of a resistance zone today to signal anything other than likely a continued push higher. So let's start to wrap some parameters around what we see versus what the Fibonacci tells us for what is happening right here. So the first thing that I want to do, if I'm going to put that primary wave A here, I'm going to go up one more level so that I can now put in the retracements level for a primary B wave. And to do that, I am just going to go over to drawings. I'm going to be looking. I'm going to go to just the retracement right there. And I'm going to go from the high. There you go. And we're going to go to retracements. Thank you. And we're going to go to the bottom of wave A. So right now, our retracements for coming back up in a B wave are 41.55, where we sit right now. But we've been above 41.55. And to go up above it again in a B wave would be fine. We've been as high as 42.17, and that would be wave A. So in essence, if as far as the C wave goes, I would be looking forward to at least give an attempt, if not get above 42.22, and continue to likely head up towards 4,300, if indeed it is this outside wave pattern. Now, if it is the triangle, and again, I'm going to bring it down, so basically loading that up, bring it back down to the daily so we can look. If it's the triangle pattern, then we'd be looking for at least probably up to that line, which is 41.90, we'll say, or I think it's a little bit lower here. It's about 41.80, and you see it's declining. So as it gets closer to the resistance, it'll get to the resistance. So we're bonking our heads up on the 41.55 resistance level, which fits for the entire wave. The count itself does not. So I leave it open. So the next level that I want to put on is actually going to be if this A and B, and I'm looking for a C wave. So we're going to follow this count. The triangle still is in place. There's our stopping points. But let's see what comes in above all of this in terms of a continued wave higher, a continued C wave. And if it's an E wave, it's going to be A, B, and this is a C, and it's going to be dang near close to being done. So let's go look at the other one for right now. So again, we're going to the bottom, except we're going to go outside of that. Sorry about that. We're going to go over to the retracements, excuse me, the extensions. And now we're going to put the extensions for the C wave. So now we have the C wave, the extensions there. Here we have the larger move, right? The whole ABC, that projects cleanly to 44.22. The next line down is right here, where we get a double. The next line down is 43. I believe it's going to be 43.07-ish. And that runs up to about 20, I believe, or 37, somewhere in there. Nah, it runs up about 12, 13. So about 7 to 12, 13, 43, and there's a little bit of a cluster right there. And that's 618 of the entire move, and that could fit. That completes the C wave. We basically got above wave A, and it's clean. If we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we get a 3 up to here, we get a 4, and then a 5 up into here, we can call it a day. They have to be of minor degree. And there's plenty of things that can happen in between then and now, which will continue to push. We did see a continued calculated push in some areas. So that would be on a C wave. Now we can start bringing this in even more if we start to take it down in, and now we're looking for a third wave. So I'm going to take away some of this because it'll get very clogged. Since we're just in the third, and what I'm looking for, this is the entire C. So let me remove that, and now let's take for a third inside this. And we've got it even a little bit tighter, where 100 is 41.71. And guess what? That starts to match up with the end of a triangle pattern. And it could be A, B, C, E. So that could draw this and just throw it south. So see how I'm going to work both of these together? I'm keeping it, it's like an A and we're in a little bit larger C. But if it were to stop there, if it were to stop here at this top, this 41.71, which is basically where this leg, the C leg, would be equal to the A wave, and then if this was part of the triangle. And from there, what we'd look for, if indeed it is a triangle, what I'm looking for there, if it's complete, is for a turnaround in that thrusts out of the triangle, at least back down to below 39, at least. See, the width of the triangle right now is here from 41.75 down to 38.65. So you're looking for a move, a quick move down there. Unlikely then, of course, for it to continue because we have finished a primary B wave. Now that's that level. Now 1, 2, looking for a 3, we get up into here, maybe start to break towards these next levels. And that may finish, we might finish minor wave 3. We do a pull down, like in a minor 4, and we come up in a minor 5. Now we're back up into here. And obviously we can maybe even start looking at those levels. We would start to definitely look at 403 to 16 to 43.36. That's a little zone. If this wave 3 extends and comes full, 1.618 is a pretty full third wave calculation in terms of Fibonacci. So that's also in the picture. So now we've got a little bit story to tell. If it gets here, we're going to see what happens. We'll see how it reacts. If something kicks it lower, it should thrust. It thrusts out of the triangle. Not thrusts up out, it thrusts downwardly out of the triangle. Remember, A, B, C, D, E thrusts down out of the triangle. So that's that one. Otherwise, if we continue to climb higher, it's going to be a 3rd, a 4, and a 5. And we realize we now need to have extensions put on there, and they're going to head up into here. Ultimately, that number I'm not expecting. I do have one level that'll come in around the 45 level. And let's take this one off because, again, I'm going to bring back this one, which is the C wave. And I believe the entire C wave, 45.12. So if C is going to be equal to A, we have 45.12. If C is going to be 0.618 of A, we're going to see 42.55. If it's going to be within the triangle, we have 41.76. So we have some zones here that could line up to the completion of this whole thing. And then again, if it's the 1, 2, 3, we know we have higher levels on which to complete the overall move, the C wave or the E wave. So that's the S&P. Let's take a look over at the NASDAQ. And I've got all of that already listed over here. So let me get rid of a couple of these so that we can take a look cleanly to what it is. Here again, you got an ABC down, that's an A wave. I'd have to back it up on additional counts, and it doesn't really work. So I'm leaving it as this because it does work, and it does fit to what's going forward, and it does fit the wave pattern, the personality, the problems that the market has is dealing with, and just what is going on versus what we're hearing on the things that we're trying to digest, like with bank failures, with other problems that are resting with smaller banks or even medium-sized banks, or just within the banking system. What is going on with inflation? How does that affect it? What are earnings supposed to be? We've already got continued layoffs, et cetera, from a lot of the big tech firms. We do have a building problem with commercial real estate. And is that the next bubble that's going to break? And if it does, will it resemble 2008, 2009? Which also dealt with mortgages, just different type of mortgages, but now we're looking at commercial real estate mortgages. And there's danger of large amounts of money. So again, they're already estimating that we'd be 40 to 80 billion, somewhere up in there, maybe even higher, 400 to 800 billion. So that's a lot of money brewing off on the side, not getting a whole lot of press time right yet, but it's there. So we have a lot going on. Again, what I will suggest, either case, I believe what's going to turn these markets when this is done, it's going to turn them and knock them down, is a shock, unexpected, yet not so unexpected, but something big enough to go like, whoa, and force the sell. So here, NASDAQ, we've got that primary A. And then we have a minor A, a B, and a C for the intermediate A. And we have an A, a B, and a C, intermediate B. I know it's a little bit on the short side, but it works. And now we're in a C wave up. The triangle pattern here truly does not fit as well. I can draw there and I can draw there, but this exceeded and remains above. I've seen where we've had them, but not that they're building. It just kind of goes up, goes through, and comes back. So it's a throw over. This is not really a throw over. It's building on a 5-wave structure. So in any case, let's just take a peek. That's on the daily. Let's bring it down to the 4-hour chart so we can open it up and take a look. Because we're going to add some fibs. So it's the same deal, A, B, C. There's the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, these are in the minutes. I could change them to minor, but that would suggest that we're heading into the finishing stages. So minutes, 5 minutes equal minor wave 1 of C. If I put a minors, we're in that final throw of the B wave up, the C wave. So in actuality, it's an ABC. We're looking for that intermediate degree C. We should pass that. We have. So that part's done. So how much more? We can go take a look. So I want to now also just put in fibs, but they're going to be extensions for the wave C. And right now, C would be equal to A at 13,994. I think it was like 13,900 something yesterday. So yeah, we're still in the hood. Market's not really, yes, we were down. We were down for most of the day, but you know, by the end of the day, they give it a little push, and then it's over, and we start to slide a little bit lower again. So there's still a lot of like, well, we don't know. What should we do? Wait, because we'll find out more data, etc. The markets play a lot of wait and see games until we get positioned, until the larger firms get positioned into what and how and where they want that day to expire according to what the options positions are. So we get a lot of movement. It is tradable, Just we didn't get very far in either direction today. So again, that's all for the C waves. Now I can start adding again inside here, and I'll go down to the hourly chart so we can look a little bit cleaner. And here we are, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's all pretty clean. This was like ugly and difficult, but still forms out. That's all an A and a B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 3, you know, all little tiny subdivisions all the way through. So here we are. This was still all Friday. And that was Friday. And then this is today. So it's kind of like a little bit. So if anything, is this going to actually turn into like a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, 4, we have a 5. And if that's the case, say, oh boy, I got to open it up, right? Open it, bring it down. So I'm looking for the 3, the 4, and the 5. And if this is all going to be, this is a 4, and that's 1, 2. So I'm going to put it from there to there to there. Oops, no. Let me try that again. I like to be a little bit more precise than what that one was. So we're going to go from here to there to there. There we go. Okay, so right now, we're looking for a fifth wave up. 5 can be 618 of C. That's at 13,433. 13,473. 13,580, 509 to 529. 100%, 13,600. Can that fifth wave get up there? Yeah. Well, we got to go. We got to move. We got to do what we got to do tomorrow, period. End of story. It's done, you know. Or it could just fool around, maybe come back down. Hold out in here. We're just going to hold. But the moves can be okay, and you can make some money. And that's what's important. So again, bringing this back out a little bit. Nice rally. This again was all a Friday. This was today. So it's kind of inside, boring. This was an inside day in terms of the NASDAQ. We did not break outside of this range, just traded inside of it all day. So there aren't any major changes, and we're still going to look for up into these areas. Again, a little bit different pattern, and that I don't see that this is triangular as we saw in the NASDAQ. Even if I connect it here to here, it breaks, and there's a lot above it now. And this to here, it fits, but it's going to cross, and the market's above it pretty well. But that doesn't mean that we can't get up to here while the NASDAQ, S&P gets up to its level and everybody falls. Same deal. I'm looking for an ABC, finish that B wave, and we drop. All right. This is where I'm going to hold off. The moving averages, by the way, at least on the daily here in the NASDAQ, they're not really that much different. We're surpassing. This is the 200 SMA, just kind of hanging out down here. Flat as can be against all this. Pretty wild. The 50 is getting ready to cross above, and this is the daily, above the 200 EMA. That'll put a little bit of a nice spin on it, should the guys want to pick up a little pace there. But if it just breaks and dies, well, that would fit very much so. The 20, the 4, and the 8, both the 8s are moving nicely higher. They've not yet started to turn on the daily. All right, I'm going to end it right there, and our next update will be on Tuesday, July the 4th. July. How about that? April the 4th. Wow.